Hello students, so today we are going to discuss IMO Level 2 sample paper for maths. So again in this paper we do have 50 questions. In level 2 we don't have any question of reasoning. We have 50 questions, out of that 45 questions are related to simple mathematics only and 5 questions are there from the achievers section. And 45 questions, the starting first to 45 questions carries 1 marks each and the rest of the 5 questions carries 3 marks each. So that's how the total becomes 50 marks. Okay, so let's start with the first question. So the first question what we have over here is the mean age of combined group of man and woman is 35 years. If the mean age of the man is 36 years and that of the woman is 32 years, find the percentage of the women in the group. Okay, since the mean age is given to us. So to simplify the question, what we can do, we can take the ratio of the man and women according to the question. We can take it as X ratio Y. Okay, so if we are going with further with the question, so the question is saying the mean age of the combined group of the man and the woman is 35 years, which means the mean age of the man and women is given to us. Okay, mean age of man and women. That is given to us, which is 35 years. And if we need to figure out the mean age of the man and women, so what we will do, we will figure out the total of the man and women and divide it by with the number of the man and women, correct? And that is equals to what? 35 years. That is already given to us in the question. So according to this, if we are going to figure out the total age of man and woman, so that will be what? So that will be 35 times of x plus y. Because the total age of man and woman is x plus y only. And if we are going to multiply it with this, so we will be getting this. Okay. So the total number of the man and woman is x plus y. And if we are going to multiply it by 35, so that will be the total age of man and woman. Okay. Now further, if we are going according to the question, so it is saying the mean age of the man is 36 years. So which means the total age of the man, if we are going to figure out, that is what? That is 36x. And on the same hand, the mean age of the woman is 32 years, which means if we are going to figure out the total age of women, that is what? That is 32 years. Okay. So now we need to figure out the percentage of the man and woman. Now, if we are going with the question, so the total age of the man and woman is what? 35 times of x plus 5. And the total age of man is 36x. And the total age of woman is 32y. Okay, so which means if we are going to add 36x and 32y together, we should get the total age of man and woman, correct? And that is equals to what? 35 times of x plus y. So if we are going to solve it further, we will be getting 35x plus 35y is equals to 36x plus 32y. Now we will solve, we will take the same terms one side. So 35x, 35y minus 32y is equals to 36x minus 35x. So we will be getting x is equals to 3y. Correct? This is the relation between x and y we are getting. And since the question is asking about the percentage of the women, so percentage of the women will be number of the women divided by the total number of man and women both times 100. Correct? And the number of the women is what? That is y. Correct? Total is what? X plus y times 100. Okay. Now we know x is equals to 3y. So this x, the x which what we have at the place of denominator, we can replace it with the 3y. So it becomes 3y plus y times 100. So we will be getting y plus 4y times 100. Now we can cancel out y with y and 400 we can cut it 25 times. So we will be getting 25%. So the percentage of women in the group is equals to what? That will equals to 25%. Okay. Now the next question what we have. So the next question is here we need to figure out the value of a plus b when we already having the terms like if minus 3 by root 3 plus 2 minus 3 root 2 by 6 root 6 plus root 3 plus 4 root 3 by root 6 plus root 2. Okay, that is equals to what? That is equals to a root 2 plus b root 3. Okay, now we need to solve it. So for that, what we need to do, we need to take each and every individual terms and we need to rationalize them. Okay, so first we will take this minus 3 by root 3 plus root 2. Okay, now to rationalize it, what we need to do, we need to multiply the denominator with the opposite sign. So root 3 minus root 2 by root 3 minus root 2. And if we are going to solve it, so we will be getting minus 3 root 3 Okay, we need to multiply with minus 3 in the entire bracket. So we will be getting, and if we want to write, we can write it like this as well. By root 3 times root 3 gives us 3 only. Root 2 times root 2 gives us 2 only. So this will gives us minus 3 times root 3 minus root 2 by 1. Okay. So if we want to solve it further, we can just simplify it and we can write it minus root 3 root minus 3 root 3 plus 3 root 2. Okay. Now the next term what we have is minus 3 root 2 by root 6 plus root 3. Same thing we need to do over here. Again, we need to rationalize it, and for rationalization, we will do root 6 plus root 3 by root 6 plus root 3. Okay, now when we are going to solve it further, we will be getting minus 3 root 2, 6 root 6 minus root 3. Okay, so we will be getting root 6 minus root 3, and here we will be getting 6 minus 3. So we are going to get minus 3 root 2 times root 6 minus root 3 by 6 minus 3 gives us 3 only. Then this 3 we can cancel out, and after cancel out this thing, we will be getting minus 2 times root 6 minus root 3, and if we are going to solve it further, so we will be getting minus 12 minus root 12 plus root 6, and this root 12 we can write as minus 2 root 3 plus root 6. Okay. Now the next what is given to us is 4 root 3 by root 6 plus root 2. Okay, again, for this we need to rationalize it by multiplying both numerator and denominator by root 6 minus root 2. And now when we are going to solve it, we will be getting 4 root 3 times root 6 minus root 2 by 6 minus 2. So we are going to get 4 root 3 times root 6 minus root 2 by 4. 4 we can cancel out. Then after that, we will be getting root 18 minus root 6. And this root 18, we can write it as 3 root 2 minus root 6. Okay. Now these all things we have, we will put it over there in this term. So the first one is this, when we are going to write it, so we will be getting minus 3 root 3 plus 3 root 2 minus, then we do have this thing. So it becomes what? Plus 2 root 3 minus root 6. Then we do have plus, so plus 3 root 2 minus root 6. Okay, that is equals to what? A root 2 plus B root 3. That is given to us. Okay, so when we are going to put in the entire thing and when we are going to solve it further, okay, now we need to take the terms which contains root 3 together and root 2 together like that. So this term is having 3 root 2, 3 root 2 and 3 root 2. Okay, so we do have 6 root 2. Now minus 3 root 3 and we have 2 root 3. So minus 3 root 3 and 2 root 3 gives us what? Minus root 3 only. Yes. Okay, so this is of minus only. So it becomes minus 5 root 3. Okay, after that, we do have another term which contain only root terms. So root 6 minus root 6. Okay, okay, when we are going to solve it further, this is plus root 6. So it becomes plus root 6 only. Plus root 6 and minus root 6, that gives us 0 only. Okay, so now if we have these terms over here, so when we are going to write it, so the value of A we are going to get as 6. The value of B we are going to get as minus 5. Okay, because this minus we have already taken along with this now, so we are supposed to write it like this as it is, how it is having. Okay, so these two terms got cancelled out. So the value of A we are getting as 6, the value of B are getting as a minus 5. Okay, the question is asking about the value of A plus B, so that will gives us 6 minus 5, which is 1. So 1 needs to be the correct answer for this. Now the next one. Next one is asking like which of the following is correct. The sum of the three altitudes of a triangle is less than the sum of the three sides of the triangle. Okay, according to the question, the sum of the three altitudes of a triangle, we are going to draw on it like this. So that should be lesser than the sum of the all sides of the triangle. So that is true only. Okay, now the second one what we have is the perimeter of a triangle is greater than the sum of its three medians. That is also true. Any two sides of a triangle is together greater than the twice the median drawn to the third side. That is also true. So that is why all of these should be the correct answer. Now the next question what we have. So the next question is saying there is a cone of a height 18 centimeter. Okay, the height of the cone which is PQ is given to us which is 18 centimeter. Out of which a smaller cone which is the top portion of the original cone, which means this one, this part. Okay, with the same vertex and the vertical axis is cut out. What is the ratio of the volume of the larger cone to the smaller cone? If the height of the smaller cone, which means this PS is given to us, which is 12 centimeter. Okay, that we are supposed to figure out. We are supposed to figure out the ratio of the volume of the larger cone to the volume of the smaller cone. Okay, that we need to figure out. So what we can do over here. So if we are going with the question, so it is already given to us the length of the PQ as 18 centimeter. The height of the smaller cone is also given to us, which is 12 centimeter. Correct. So if we are supposed to figure out the ratio of the height. Okay, so ratio of the height, if we are going to figure out, so that is gonna be the PQ by the PS by PQ. Okay, if we are going to figure out the ratio of the height to PS by PQ, which is 12 by 8, we can easily figure out 2 by 3, which means 2 ratio 3. Okay, now since it is already also given to us that PS by PQ is equals to ST by QR, and the value of the ratio is also given to us, which is 2 by 3. So the ratio, which means PS by PQ, okay, should equals to ST by QR, and that we can put in the ratio of 2 ratio 3. Okay, now after that, if we are going further with the question, so the question is asking about the volume only, correct? And volume of the cone, we know the formula for the volume of a cone, which is equals to 1 by 3 pi r square h, correct? So let's take the smaller height as h1, the smaller cone height, and the bigger cone height, we can take it as h2. Okay, so since the question is asking about the volume only, so that is gonna be 1 by 3 pi r square h1. And this we can take as pi 1 upon 3 pi r square h2. Okay, this we can take out. Now the further things get cut down with each other. Now the volume of a cone is given by with the formula that we have, and the ratio of their volume is the cube of the ratio of their corresponding linear dimension, which means that either the ratio of their height or the ratio of the radius. So we can go with that. Okay, so since we already know the radius, so we will, since we already know the height, so we will go with the ratio of their height. So that is gonna be what? 2 by 3 cube. And if we are going to solve it, so we will be getting 8 by 27. Okay, so if we are going to put it, so we will be getting 8 by 27. And since to determine the required ratio, the question is asking for the ratio of the volume to the larger cone to the volume of the smaller cone. The larger cone to the smaller cone, so that needs to be what? 27 by 8, which means the ratio needs to be 27 ratio 8, which is option C. Now the next question. Next question is saying in the given figure, the semicircle centered at O has a diameter 12 centimeter. The chord QR is parallel to PS and QR is equals to 1/3 of PS. Okay, so since this diameter which is PS is already given to us, which is 12 centimeter, correct? And QR is what? QR is 1/3 of PS. So which means the length of the QR should be what? 1/3 of 12. So that should be what? 4 centimeter. So the length of QR we know 4 centimeter, correct? And this is the height. This needs to be the height. We need to figure out the area of a trapezium, and this particular thing needs to be the height of this. Okay, that we don't know. Okay, so since we already know these are the parallel sides, and the parallel sides are already given to us over here. One side is given to us, another side we have already figured out, that needs to be 1 by 3 of the 12. Okay, so when we are going to solve it further, so yes. So now the height of a trapezium is the perpendicular distance between the parallel side, that we already know, but that it is not given to us. Now in the right angle triangle, if we are going over there, so the length of the OQ, okay, if we need to figure out the length of this OQ, Okay, that is given to us. Okay, QR is 4 centimeter. And this is the like entire length, which is 12 centimeters. So that is why the length of this OP, this length needs to be 6 and this length needs to be 6, because since it is a diameter and half of it is a radius. Okay, that is the radius. Okay, so that needs to be half of that. So that needs to be 6 only. This distance is 6 and this distance needs to be 6. And since it is a semicircle, so this needs to be the radius and this also needs to be the radius, and this side needs to be equal only. Okay, so the angle this length needs to be, and QM should be the half of the length of the QR. Okay, and if we are going with this, so that we can mark a point over here, so that should be the half of the length of the QR. So that should equals to what? 2 centimeter. So now to figure out the length of the height, what we can do, we can apply the Pythagoras theorem over here. So we will be getting this height if we are going to take as QM. Okay, so that QM needs to be, okay, with half of this. So we are going to get as 2 only. We can go with this as well, or we can go with this as well. Okay, so this we can take it as QM. Okay, so this is what 2, and this OQ we are going to get as 6 only, because this is also the radius. Okay, and if we are going to put everything together, so the QM square should equals to 4 plus 4 is equals to 36. So the QM square we are going to get as 32. Okay, so the value of QM needs to be root 32. And when we are going to solve root 32, we are going to get as 4 root 2 centimeter. Now we already have height for this trapezium. We know the formula for the area of trapezium, that is equals to half into height into sum of parallel sides. Okay, so that will equals to half into height is 4 root 2 and sum of parallel sides are gonna be 12 plus 4. Okay, so this we can cut. We will be getting 2 root 2 times 16. We are going to get as 32 root 2. Okay, so the answer what we are going to get as 32 root 2 centimeter square. Okay, so that will be the area of this trapezium. Now the next question what we have is in a quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, one quadrilateral is there which is ABCD. A, B, C, and D. Okay, angle D is 74 degree, that is already given to us, and rest of the angles ratio is given to us, which means angle A ratio angle B ratio angle C is given to us 4 ratio 2 ratio 5. Okay, now we need to go further to solve this question. And since ratio is already given to us, which is 4 ratio 2 ratio 5. So what we can do, we can put the ratio, and since we already know the sum of the ratio, the sum of all the angles of the quadrilateral should equals to 360 degree. So we will apply the same thing over there. Okay, so we already know that angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D needs to be equals to 360 degree, because sum of all the angles of the quadrilateral is equals to 360 degree. So we can take it as 4x plus 2x plus 3x, 5x plus 74 degree should equals to what? 360 degree. Now we can add all of them together. So 6x plus 5x we are going to get as 11x. 11x plus 74. Okay, 11x plus 74 we are going to get as 360 degree. Okay, so 11x will equals to what? 11x will equals to 360 degree minus 74 degree. So when we are going to solve 360 minus 74 degree, we are going to get 286. Okay, and when we are going to divide this 286 degree with this 11, so we will be getting 26 degrees. Okay, when we need to divide it with 11, we are going to get 26 degrees. So the value of x is 26. And since the question is asking about the value of c, so that needs to be what? 5 times 26. And that we are going to get as 130. Okay, so the value of angle C is gonna be what? 130 degree. And since it is not there in the option, so option D is gonna be the correct answer.